This video looks at the issues around state benefits and equity release, some of the problems and concerns around benefits and the way in which they're impacted by equity release, and the way in which Ferret's Fintal program can help. It's important that we recognise that benefits are very important in the equity release area. Many clients have benefit issues. Many clients may have an entitlement to benefits that they're not currently receiving. Equity release, apart from those areas where it's being used for higher worth people, such as inheritance planning, is often there for people who are in need. They need to make use of the equity they've got. They're perhaps equity rich and cash poor. But if there's another way of getting what they need, then that should be looked at first. Pension credit, the main benefit for older people that's means tested, is enormously underclaimed. Vast numbers of people who are entitled to it don't get it. In fact, overall about a third of the people who are entitled to pension credit don't claim it, and for house owners, the equity release market, over half of them who are entitled to pension credit don't claim it. Working age benefits are also badly underclaimed, in particular the long-term benefits such as income support and employment and support allowance. It's worth remembering as well that because of the changes to pension age, people will stay on these much lower working age benefits for many years longer. So how much do benefits matter? Are they an important part of people's income? Well, yes, more than half of older pensioners' income comes from benefits. If you're a single woman, then things are even more dramatic. Nearly 2/3 of the total income for single women comes from the benefit system. So benefits is important and needs to be looked at. The state pension is the biggest part of the benefit system, of course, but means-tested or income-related benefits are also really important. Over a quarter of pensioners get these. So benefits matter, and no advisor wants to take away somebody's equity in their home if there's another way to help them. But of course they don't also want to give somebody that help and then see the government take it away again. But that's what can happen with the benefit system. Means testing reduces existing benefits when you get extra capital over a small limit, or if you get extra income is taken away penny for penny, so you gain nothing very often from the initial amount of income that you're given. And of course equity release can stop you getting the benefits that you're entitled to. So it's important for advisors to be aware of how the system works for the good of the client and for their own good, of course. Advisors will want to help with benefits because it's good for the clients, but they also have to remember that they've got to consider benefits. The FCA Mortgage Contract of Business rules say that. You have to look at whether the benefits of an equity release product outweigh the adverse effect on the customer's entitlement to means-tested benefits. And that's any adverse effect. And it's important to remember that it's the customer's entitlement to means-tested benefit, not the benefits they're already getting. So how can an advisor help their customers to understand the impact of benefits more easily? Well, let's assume that the customer have an idea of what they want to get from an equity release system. So as an example, here's a couple with some existing capital, no mortgage, a small income of state pension and some council tax to pay. They ask the advisor what would happen if they took another £55,000 worth of capital as equity release. The advisor from that basis works out they'd have an entitlement to £57 odd of savings pension credit every month. Great, benefit they didn't know about. What about taking extra income instead? £480 a month, they ask. The advisor works it out again. £63 savings pension credit and £115 council tax. Super. Really good news. Except that it's not. If we have a look at the chart from Fintal, that shows over a range of different levels of capital what happens, you can see that that £55,000 extra, making £70,000 in total, brings them down to a point just after there's been a big drop in income, shown as this cliff edge on the purple chart here. That's caused by the problem that comes when guarantee pension credit runs out because the amount of notional income from capital has caused it to reach its limit. If we look at the table that Fintal produces for this same chart, you'll see that there's a red line at the £67,000 mark. That's created by the system to show that something serious has happened there, and that's the point at which guarantee pension credit stops, and therefore council tax, because of the capital limit of that reduction, also stops. So £70,000, whilst giving them a little bit of extra savings pension credit they didn't know about, actually gives them a big drop in their income that they would have been getting. If they took £3,000 less, their income would be almost £140 a month higher. Without looking at the range of capital amounts, they wouldn't know that. Similarly with taking income. On the basis of the income they looked at, they'd have an entitlement to some pensions credit and some council tax reduction every month. Again, benefits they didn't know they were entitled to. But if you look at the chart that produces, the amount you will see falls in a very strange place. Taking additional income, shown on the bottom of the chart here, you'll see that for the first long period while guarantee pension credit is taken away penny for penny for the income from an equity release product, they don't gain anything. At the level they're looking at, £480, well, the income's gone up a little bit, but when you look at it in detail on the table, in fact you'll see that that figure gives them less income in total than they would have got from £460 or from £440. So it's a very bad point for an advisor to place their clients in without informing them. If you went and looked, in fact, at the first £300 that this couple could take as income, you'd see from the table that in fact they wouldn't gain a single penny from the first £300, so it's a very bad use in this case of their equity. They gain very little overall from the amount that they're thinking about taking. I would hope that the advisor would have told them at the beginning, by doing a benefits check that Fintal carries out initially, that they would already have qualified for £450 a month guarantee pension credit and £125 council tax reduction. That would have given them £580 a month, which might mean they wouldn't need equity release at all. Of course, not all of the equity release schemes have these kind of effects. Yes, the cliff edge shown here again is very common, where guarantee pension credit runs out and council tax therefore stops as well. But it's quite common for an income-based product to have a genuine increase in real income all the way along from an equity release perspective. So the benefit system is here. It's important, and clients need to and want to work with it for the benefit of their clients. They don't want to be giving money from their equity back to the government unnecessarily. But the benefit system is complicated. You can't look at a case and decide very quickly and easily whether it'll be affected by the benefit system or not. There's no traffic light system that works. You have to look at each case individually and in some detail. There are some very major problems that are coming along quite newly. Since the middle of May 2019, pension credit is now decided on the basis of who is the youngest person in the couple rather than the oldest person in the couple when they reach pension age. And that means that where previously, for example, equity release capital could take somebody off pension credit for a few weeks and then they'd be able to reclaim it, now if they come off pension credit and they're in a mixed age couple, they'll go back onto universal credit at a much lower rate. So advisors need to be confident that they're taking benefits seriously and doing the proper job. and that's where the Fintal system helps. We've had over 15 years of developing this and improving it, and it's now well recognised as being the most powerful system for dealing with all of the equity release benefits and tax impacts that matter. It uses intelligent input, it suppresses questions that it knows can't be relevant, and it asks extra questions where it needs to. It comes with detailed help, a mini encyclopedia of the benefit system that pops up automatically for each relevant question, but can be searched as well. It produces an output which can be just a summary for a very quick check, or you can go into the very great detailed output with a complete record of all the questions being asked, so that you have a file record of all the information that you've given to your client and the information that you've collected from them. As well as the detailed output, of course, we have the unparalleled range of options across different amounts of capital and income, which allow us to determine the best point for recommending a project amount to a client. The tables there, together with the graphic representation of them in a chart that's simple to understand and that shows the real net gain in income. We have reckoners for special calculations that need to be done occasionally, and we offer, of course, the unparalleled helpline service that Ferret has been famous for. We can also do training courses in benefits and in the system. Fintal is available on an annual subscription, or you can take a pay per case option if you wish as well. So that's Ferret and Fintal.